welcome to this week's video. So this week I'm going to be making some marmalade with the quinces that we've grown in our garden. So we've got lots of quinces. You want to wait until they are yellow and they're almost fluffy as well. They get like a kind of a fluffy coat. Pick them off the tree and then you want to put them somewhere cool, dry and not touching, and leave them for another couple of weeks. This way they get really fragrant and intense their flavour. Smell really good. Quince have loads of pectin in it, so it's really easy to make this marmalade set. So it should be a really easy recipe, we hope. So let's get going. So we've got 2,500 grams or 2.5 kilograms of quince, and we've taken 3/5 out, which is 1,500 grams or 1.5. And then I've washed all of the quinces, and then with that 1.5 kilograms, I've just roughly chopped it and I've put it into a large pan, and I've put boiling water just so that we cover the chunks. Don't worry about putting everything in, the core, everything in, because we're going to be straining it later. And there's no need to peel it either, so it's super easy. So we're just going to simmer those chunks for 30 minutes in the pan. So the rest of the, in our case, the kilo, rest of the quinces, which is the kilo, what you want to do is you want to core them to take the core out. Don't worry about peeling them, but then we're going to grate them. So that's what I'm going to do next. Now, luckily I've got a food processor, which has got a grating attachment, but you could do it by hand if you want to. Now, quinces do discolour a bit like apples. So once I've grated this, I'm also then going to squeeze some limes and lemons just to get the juice, and I'll add that as well just to stop it discolouring too much. And also it will add a really nice flavour to the marmalade as well. It's got an absolutely gorgeous citrusy floral smell. Quinces are quite unusual fruit, but if you ever get a chance to buy them or grow them, definitely do so, because they are really tasty but smell gorgeous as well. So I'm going to get 7 jars, and they've already been washed in a dishwasher, so they're clean. But I'm going to wash them in the sink and in soapy water, warm soapy water, and then rinse them. Put them on a tray and then put them in the oven at 150 degrees for 15 minutes. And this way it completely sterilises the jars, ready for the marmalade. So after 15 minutes of your jars being in the oven, you can turn the oven off and just leave them in there until you're ready to put your marmalade in your jams. I forgot to mention we've got a jam funnel, so we've left that, we put that in the oven as well. So that's all ready to be used as well. So this has had 30 minutes and it's all soft, it's boiled away. So now I'm going to get a sieve and a bowl, and make sure you keep the liquid, because I have done this before where I've gone and poured it in a sieve and then in the sink, and I've lost all the liquid and I'm left with a pulp, which I don't want anyway, so I've had nothing. So you need a bowl and you need a sieve, and make sure you keep the liquid. Once the pulp's cooled, you can either put it in your compost, or like us, if you've got chickens, give it to the chickens. Okay, so our chickens don't like the pulp, so it's going to have to be go to the compost bin instead. So once I've strained the liquid into the bowl, I'm going to add 1,125 grams of sugar, so that's a lot of sugar, and then put the liquid back in the pan, and then put it on the hob on a low heat and keep stirring it until all of the sugar has dissolved. Now I'm just going to bring that to a simmer once all the sugar is dissolved. So now I'm going to add the grated quince, and I'm just going to stir it regularly, and it should go from a white colour to a nice gorgeous pink colour, and that's when you know it's done. As you can see, mine's discoloured a bit. I probably didn't put enough lemon juice on it, but it doesn't really matter for what we're doing here, making marmalade. So I'm going to put a saucer in the freezer now, so that we're going to use that later to make sure that it has set. So we've been boiling this up for about half an hour, 40 minutes, and it's now gone a gorgeous colour. So I'm just going to go and get my saucer and test it to make sure that it's ready. So I've got my saucer from the freezer, and I've just put a little teaspoon on it and left it for 20-30 seconds. And then I've run my finger through it just to make sure that it doesn't there's no liquid fills in the gap. And looking at that, it looks perfect. So we're ready to put it into jars. So pour your marmalade into your jars, and I always recommend you do at least 1 or 2 extra jars, because it's always better to have an extra sterilised jar than not enough and then not to know what to do with your marmalade, spare marmalade. So there we are, we've got 5.5 jars, so I'm really happy with that. So the jar that's only got a little bit left, I'm going to put that in the fridge and we'll have that for our breakfast tomorrow morning. I hope you enjoyed this week's video, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss out on any videos. And I'll see you next time. Cheers guys, bye.